Hi everyone, Laura Pecenco here with Miramar's FLOC program, the Faculty Learning Online Community, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite tools, which is called Canva. But before we get into Canva, and by the way, I know it sounds a lot like Canvas, but it is a separate tool, although it does work very well with Canvas. So before we get into our full-on discussion about Canva, I want to mention why I think that this sort of tool is useful or even matters. So Canva is a design tool, and we might think of design as superfluous to what we're doing in the classroom, but the reality is that many of our students are visual learners, and likely many of us are as well. And for many people, our memories and the way that we intake information is completely connected to the visual component. We tend to learn really well through arts-based learning and project-based learning when we're working hands-on, when we're seeing these sorts of visual connections. And so we can incorporate arts-based learning or encourage it, both through the tools that we use, so incorporating lots of visual and project-based elements into our classes, but then also encouraging our students to do so as well. So this is just an overview of some aspects of arts-based learning, and I have some different tools over here that I think are really interesting and innovative, but I want to mention that there are tons of different options within Canva itself related to these. So let's take a look at how this actually operates within the Canva template, right? The tools that are available. So when we log in to Canva, and you can get a free account, you do have the option of paying here and there for particular templates, or you can sign up for Canva Pro. But I've existed for quite some time with a free account, and that's worked out very, very well. So I want to just show you that when you log in, you will see so many different types of templates. So we've got Instagram, Facebook posts, different logos, flyers, covers for Facebook pages, animated social media, different sorts of posters, more social media, presentations, YouTube thumbnails, Instagram stories. I mean, it keeps going. And notice every single one of these keeps going, right? So you'll have so many different options to work with, and every single one of these templates you can edit. So this is the real beauty of Canva, is it's done so much of the graphic design work for you. If you're ever interested in learning more about graphic design and why these sorts of designs are so powerful, you can go to the Discover and Learn tabs, and each one of these has all sorts of great tutorials. There are even full courses. Just last week, Canva had the Design for Change Week series of events, and what I really liked about that was that it was focused on how this tool has a positive impact, right? So that if we can get our students to engage with these materials more, that matters, right? So this isn't just fluff. This isn't, oh, it just makes it look prettier. This really does have an impact on learning. And I think that that's really great that they're recognizing, how powerful of a tool this can actually be. Okay, so let's say we're in here and we're like, okay, great, I can make all of this stuff, but what do I do with it? So let me show you a couple of examples of ways that I've incorporated Canva into my courses. So one place is in Canvas, when we have our dashboard of all of the courses that we're teaching, and what students see is all of the courses that they're enrolled in, you can edit the card that shows up for each of the different courses. So I like to do this. It's a nice way of welcoming students in, and it also visually signals to both them and myself which course I'm going into. So you can see these have been edited, right? So there wasn't a Miramar FLOC cohort Pecenco template within Canva, but I found one that had to do with the kind of flock theme of birds, and I modified it, to have it be pertinent to what we're doing in the FLOC program. I do want to point out one thing. You'll notice there's a slight watermark in here, and this is because this is one of the templates that Canva has locked in a certain way. So in a sense, it's unlocked, right? I could use it, I could download it for free, but with a watermark. To remove the watermark, you would pay. It's often something like $1 or so per image. Another place that I use the Canva templates is as a banner, kind of a welcome, trying to set the tone, create a particular vibe for a class, or in this case, a program. Another one is a table of contents. I got this from our fearless online mentor, Denise Meduli Williams, who showed me one of her online courses where she used this very consistent table of contents visual for every single week. And I loved that idea because it really goes to show how, students connect with it. Once they see, oh, yes, I know this is my list of assignments, every week they look for this particular image because it clues them into this is my to-do list, and it makes them feel a sense of accomplishment once they've gone through each of those particular items. Another place that I tend to use Canva templates quite a lot is on social media. So I have Miramar Sociology accounts on Instagram and Twitter. We also have a social and behavioral sciences department Facebook page. And so we like to use these templates to help us to send a message of some kind. In this case, I wanted to announce the free laptops that were available for students due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And again, I just went in and edited based on what I wanted to say and how I wanted to communicate something using very little text and really focusing on the image and grabbing students' attention. Okay, so we're to the making part, which is always super exciting, and this is so much fun. Honestly, this is one of my favorite things to do. I'm constantly updating my designs every semester, and I really have a lot of fun with it. So you can search in a few different ways. One is that you can search within the particular templates. So maybe you say, okay, I know I want to make a social media post. It's going to be on Instagram. And so you start looking through like this, right? You also could, and then you can do a search within those templates as well. Or you can search all of the templates. If you say, I'm not really too concerned about, this specific size of it. It can be whatever. So maybe I say, okay, I want to do a search for school, and let me just see what kind of catches my fancy, what looks good to me. So I'm going through and I say, ooh, I love this one. This is a great design. Back to school even works for me, but maybe I want something more like welcome back to Miramar, right? And then I want to say, so excited for SoCo 101, right? Something like that. So maybe that's it, right? There I've got my banner, I've got this welcome message, and I'm super excited. It looks perfect to me. Fantastic. I can then download at this point, and I can select a whole bunch of different file types. PNG might work perfectly for me. Maybe I want it as a PDF. It's really up to you, but it will immediately download to your computer and you are good to go. If you want to mess around with it a little bit more, you certainly can. Maybe you say, I want to rotate this. I want to enlarge this a little bit. I'd like to expand this balloon as well. I want to have this overlap here. Maybe I say, ooh, but I'd rather have the text sticking, coming forward. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that forward. Now the stars are behind. So you can see, right? I mean, you can manipulate this however you want to, and you can continuously add to it if you'd like. You can, of course, save the file name. So maybe this isn't the exact title I'd like for it. And so this is going to be Welcome Back to Miramar. And maybe for my own purposes, I'm still stuck in spring. I'm going to say Fall 2020. So perfect, right? Now I've got that saved, and that's fantastic. And it's going to show up in all your designs. You'll see it here as well. Maybe I say I want to make a page that is a introduction to me, right? So meet your professor. Meet Dr. P. Okay, so far we've talked a little bit about how to manipulate the design based on what is already provided, but you can also add your own content. So this is a photo of me working from home, and maybe I want to make sure that my students, know my face. So I want to add an image of myself to it. Perfect, right? You can absolutely do that. You can drag in any image that you would like, and then you can resize it, however you would want. You can come in and edit this, and I'm going to say something like, hi everyone, I'm Dr. P. Feel free to call me Dr. P or Dr. Pecenco. I can't wait to spend the semester working with all of you. Here's a little about me. And then I can start listing off things like I love art. My cat, Mr. Sid, is my best friend, etc., 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 right? So with this, you can see my text is now overlapping with my title. So then I'm going to drag that down. Maybe I say, oh, this is a little too busy for my taste. I'm going to drag that down here. I'd like to make this a little bit larger. I feel like, maybe I can do 28. Maybe I can do 32, right? So you can just keep experimenting around until you find something that works for you, that you really like, and then you will download it. So again, you'll select the particular file type. One thing that I think is always really, really important to keep in mind is how is this going to show up to students? So of course, as we saw over here, we have this header, but we want to make sure that this is going to show up appropriately on all devices. We know that a lot of our students are accessing our courses using mobile devices. So I always like to do a quick check. So here is the view when I log into Canvas using my smartphone. You do see that this is responsive. So this banner has appropriately sized down so that it fits within the frame on my mobile device, which is perfect. So then I say, okay, I'm good to go there. But I am going to want to make sure that when I'm within Canvas, I appropriately provide alt text for my image, especially if I'm thinking of this image as content, if I'm sharing something important with students. So for my Meet Dr. P image, for example, I'm not just going to have it be titled Meet Dr. P in the alt text. I want it to say Meet Dr. P. Hi everyone, I'm excited to work with you over the course of this semester. Here's a little bit about me, whatever it was that I wrote in there. And then I'm going to want to describe what the image looks like. So, photo of Dr. P on a background with brush strokes and polka dots, something along those lines, right? So, just be thinking about how to make sure that these designs that we're creating are accessible by all. All right. Well, I've had so much fun doing this, everyone. I hope you enjoy Canva. I am sure you will find so many things to do with it, and please share your designs with me. I am available always through Canvas Conversations and at lpecenco@sdccd.edu. Thanks so much. Talk to you all soon.